Good morning from Roebling Road. It is round one, race two of the 2025 Driverz Cup Formula V Racing Series here. Beautiful morning at the track. It is 70 degrees and sunny. Things are getting ready to go down on the grid, but let's run through a couple things before we get into the race today. Most importantly, we want to thank the sponsors we have behind us making this possible. Automotive Safety Consulting, great folks over there really helping us out. Pegasus Auto Racing Supplies and DocileArt.com are the ones that provided some of our graphics that look great. We've got Noble Engines by Cox, Mitchell Motors, 10V Racing, Quixote Racing, VeloStack, VDCA, the wonderful folks that are letting us be their guest here this weekend, Caracal Cars, which is Fred Clark, and last but not least is Auto Works Engines. Before we get things rolling here on track, I'm going to go through what should be our order based on qualifying results. On the pole again this morning, Mike Lawrence with a 122.4, followed by Sherman Engler, Stephen Davis, Jack Herberger, Donnie Isley, Chris Frizzetti, Mitchell Ferguson, Steve Eaton, Rich Guyette, Kim Cashmere, Matthew Bruns, John Ferreira, Jeff, I'm going to slaughter this again, but I do promise I know it now, Jeff Taplesai, Keith Lawrence, Maggie Talley, Hugh Maloney, Bob Frizzetti, and Arisha Akhtar round out our field of 18 cars according to timing and scoring, and we are rolling now off the grid. Mike Lawrence taking his position to lead the field to green after hopefully just one lap around the track behind the pace car. Meantime, let's see if I can count the cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Looks like, by my count, sounds like we're missing possibly one car, but we'll see what timing and scoring says here as it updates for this race. All right. Apparently, I just don't know how to count. It does look like we, in fact, have the full field of cars according to how we qualified this morning. So we're making our way around the pace cars, currently leading the field into turn 2. Everybody's, for the most part, single file, doing their own thing as they make their way around for this first pace lap. And as I mentioned, as long as everything is looking good, it should just be this one individual pace lap behind the car before we see the green flag fly on our action this morning. Got some cars weaving back and forth a little bit, scrubbing those tires as they come into turn 3. Feel like that's just a little customary thing we like to do for some reason in that spot of the track. No idea. If anybody knows, you're not actually heating your tires. Marginally might be scrubbing them, cleaning them a little bit. But other than that, it just looks cool. It looks like race car activities, so that's what we're doing. Anyways, we got the pace car now leading them through 4, and shortly after that, we'll have them through 5 and 6, of course, going through numerical order all the way up to turn 9, which is currently where the camera is pointed. That brings them right back onto this front finish start straight away here at Roebling Road. Don't have too much more to talk about up here until we get things going. So we'll just kind of hang out for just a quick moment while I grab a sip of water before we get this thing underway. All right, looks like the field has made their way into 7, and meaning they'll be coming through 8 momentarily, right on to 9, and then we should see the green flag in the air this time by. Keeping an eye out for the pace car to see if they do, in fact, come down pit lane as they should. And it looks like there they are. Pace car is coming out of 8 into 9, but not into 9 because they are in fact coming down pit lane, which means we're going to bunch the field up here and get ready to go to green for race 2 of round 1 of the Driverz Cup Championship. Here the cars come out of 9 on the front straight, 2 abreast, bunching up, getting ready for a good start, waiting for the green flag, and we are about ready to go racing. Field's happy. We are green on the race. Immediately breaking out, Sherman Angler to the lead, Mike Lawrence second, Jack Herberger going 3 wide with Davis and Isley, followed by Frizzetti and Eaton for 6 and 7, fanning out 3 wide, even 4 abreast in some places into turn 1. So far, so good, working the way through there. Looks like the whole field has made it through cleanly. Coming into turn 2, starting to get some single file action, but no doubt there are still some side by side going through 2 out of that, coming into 3 now. Currently looks like we have Angler leading the pack, followed by Lawrence. Side by side is Herberger and Davis, with Isley rounding out 5th. Ferguson and Frizzetti rounding 6th, 7th. Bruns running 8th. And then another Frizzetti, I believe, is running 10th. And we're losing the field as they go into turns 4 and 5. Pick them back up here going into 6. And it looks like out front we still have Angler, Lawrence, and Herberger for your top 3 as the field works its way for the first time into turn 7 for this race. In just a moment, we'll see them coming right back up out of 8 in the 9 and onto this front stretch once again. And we'll see how things fan out and give them a lap or 2 to sort themselves out before I'll give a rundown through the whole field on timing and scoring. Here we come. Started out single file, immediately breaking out 3 wide. Angler, Lawrence, Herberger. That is a gaggle. 5 of them, 1 car in the middle like a sandwich. A few more side by side as we get that first lap in the books here at Roebling Road. Through turn 1, looks like they are clean once again, despite it looking like a little bit of chaos there. Coming out of 2, looks like we are back out to single file for the most part, and leading them into 3 is going to be Lawrence, and that is not Lawrence, sorry, that is Davis, followed by Isley, Lawrence, Angler, Herberger, Ferguson, and Frizzetti, running that top group of about 7 cars. They're working their way right now currently through 5 into 6. Looks like things are stacked up about the same. And can't see, but we got a group of 3 cars, another group of 4, so some tight racing throughout the field. Any moment now, we will get the field coming back out on this start straightaway, and after that, I think I'm going to try to give a quick rundown through the whole field. It's a lot to keep a track of what you're going on at the front with those cars constantly dicing themselves, but we are single file coming out of 9 right now. Looks like that is currently led by, it's hard to see in the glare, Davis, Isley leading them, Lawrence 3rd, Angler 4th, Herberger 5th, Ferguson and Frizzetti following them, with Bruns trailing behind. 2 by 2 by 2 coming by there, followed by Hugh Maloney, and we got 1 car back here. Not sure, that is, I believe, Akhtar rounding out the back of the pack. So we're going to do a quick run through the field as they came across the line. Isley, Davis, Lawrence, Angler, Herberger rounding out your top 5. After them, Ferguson, Frizzetti, Bruns, Tapleside, Eaton, another Frizzetti, Cashmere, Ferreira, Guyette, Lawrence, Maloney, and Akhtar round out the 17 cars we had start and on track. Maggie Talley, unfortunately, was not able to make the race. She was having some issues with her clutch, so decided it was best to sit this one out instead of trying to limp the car around and potentially running into any issues that may cause a delay for the race. Just real respectful to have to make that hard choice to sit out a race. Kudos to her. Looks like our field has just made their way into 7, so they'll be coming out of 8 and 9 here, and we'll get back to making the call as they do their thing. Here we go, coming back on the front straight out of 9. Looks like a blue car potentially out front, so that should be Isley out front, and it is, followed by Engler, Herberger, Lawrence, side by side Davis and Ferguson, with Frizzetti hanging with them for 7th place. Bruns there just kind of hanging out side by side. Steve and Kim, followed by Jeff. And we got 4 cars in a group there having their great little battles with themselves. We are still 3 wide in 2 packs into turn 1. And it looks like everybody is going to get through happy there. The front of the field just worked their way out of 2, coming into 3 at the moment. Going 2 wide for a second. Looks like, who's thinking about it there? Side by side is going to be Ferguson and Engler. They sort it back out, knowing better to go single wide into turn 4. Gets a little crazy going into that one as they work their way now into turn 5 in just a moment. The next pack, Tapleside, Eaton, and Cashmere running behind them, followed by another group of 4 cars. That looks like Ferreira, and then I lost them for a second. I also saw Guyette and a couple more cars with them there, Lawrence and another Frizzetti in that group of 4. So the front of the field now working their way through 7 into 8 as the mid-pack runs their way out of 6 into 7. Here we come out of 8 into 9, and we'll see them right here on the front straight in any second now. Here we go, single file. You know they're going to pop out, make some moves, get themselves set up. There we go, 2 wide, 3 wide even. Got Herberger, Isley, Engler on the front row. Got Ferguson pushing Isley. He pops out, going again 3 wide. 3 by 3 there into turn 1 at the moment. Things looking clean. Bruns is trying to gain on them. I think he has a chance due to the fact they're going to be kind of slowing themselves down. And it looks like our front of the pack, yeah, they are running at least 2 seconds off their qualifying time. So no doubt getting dicey out there and slowing themselves down in the name of good racing. Got, see, Herberger tries to dive to the inside of Engler into 3, thinks better of it, gets crazy there. And then, that was inside of Isley as Engler is currently leading the group into 3, now into 4. And that will lead them to 5, 6, often stay single file through there. Sometimes you'll see a brave move into 6. Does not look like it's going to happen as the front 6 are going to stay single file out of 6, now into 7. We'll see how things shake up here. Our mid-pack there looks like that group of 3 is going to be led by Cashmere, Eaton, and Tapleside rounding out. I believe that is 8th, 9th, and 10th. Give a quick run through the field after we get our group back by here just to see where things are standing. As our front pack comes onto there, single wide, and they're popping out already. Leading the pack was Engler. Ferguson now takes the lead. Isley trying to get past Engler, 2 by 2 behind him of Herberger, Davis, and Lawrence popping out to make it 3 wide. Frizzetti rounding up that front pack. Bruns running on his own all right there. This group of here thinking about 3 wide. Tapleside thinks better of it. Sticks right behind Cashmere. Looks like Guyette, Lawrence, and a couple more right behind him. So as they come by here, give a quick run through the field. Unless I see any action I can't not talk about. Things are kind of calmed down for just a moment. So as they came by that time, our top 5 will be Ferguson, Isley, Engler, Herberger, Davis, with Lawrence and Frizzetti also on that group. Bruns, Cashmere, Eaton, Tapleside, Guyette, Lawrence, Ferreira, the other Frizzetti, Maloney, and Akhtar are the way the rest of the field runs this morning. So picking up the pace a little bit that lap. Most of our lead packs set their best times of the session that time around. I think that's just the nature as they're kind of getting settled in single file rather than going 2 by 2, even 3 by 3 around the track like we've seen this morning. So they are now currently working themselves through turn 7, which means once again we'll pick them up as they come here on the front straight. Do we have a breakaway? We do. We have Ferguson breaking away, followed by Isley, Engler, Herberger, Davis, side by side, Lawrence and Frizzetti. Odd to see Lawrence dropping back like that. Can't help but to wonder if something's going on there. Usually he is right up there at the front. Maybe he's just being strategic, waiting for the opportunity to pounce on it as we have the rest of our field coming by here. And that is going to round out all but just a couple stragglers that we have following up the rest of the pack. Coming out of 9 now, that should be Maloney. And then we will have, last but not least, in a few moments, the number 18 of Akhtar. Got a car slow on track. Looks like that is the 0 of Herberger. Slow going into 3 right now. Hopefully he can make it back, limp it back under his own power and doesn't completely come to a stop on the track. But it looks like he is continuing to slow down at the moment, so that may bring out a caution for us. We'll keep you apprised on that as the field lead pack runs their way out of 6 into 7. Saw some 2-wide action there. I believe that was mid-pack as we have, look like the leaders now on the front straight. Keeping an eye on that car of Herberger. I don't see it anymore. Ferguson, Angler, Davis, Isley, Lawrence, Frizzetti, that front pack as they come by. And it looks like we have a local yellow out leading into 4. And we're going to see what happens here. Starter looks like we might be thinking about it. 3 wide here coming across the line. That is a nice group of 5 cars there having a lot of fun. Those 2 also still getting at it. Things are still green as we run, but that could change momentarily. Did lose sight of Herberger as he went behind my field of vision going into turn 4 and 5 complex over there. But in any case, we'll stay with you regardless of what happens, as the field is currently themselves working out of 5 into 6. Looks like Ferguson still out front, possibly Angler behind him, followed by Davis, Isley, Lawrence, and Frizzetti is how they run the top 6. With Bruns running all by himself there in 7th place in that Adams Arrow, that colorful little car. Kind of looks like the Harlequin. Oh, we have a spin by Bruns, goes around 360 degrees. Looks like he's going to keep it running there. Came out of 6th and just got a little sideways, but it appears he's going to continue uninterrupted. So as I was saying, that Adams Arrow is in looking like a Harlequin Golf. Pretty cool livery. Here we go. Got Ferguson, Angler, Davis, Isley, Lawrence, Frizzetti as they come by me here in the tower. So now we're going to have a break in the field as Bruns has now fallen back off of them. And I believe this is him now coming out of 9 towards me. And that is, in fact, Bruns running right there, still in 7th. Little faux pas, but did not lose it. Side by side, we're going to have Eaton and Cashmere, followed by Tapleside and Guyette and Lawrence, with the other Frizzetti not too far behind, and Ferreira. The front pack now looks like they are working themselves through 5, and they'll pop out of there in just a moment, going into 6. Single file racing at the moment, but as time ticks down and we get close to the end of our session, I'm sure things will heat back up and we'll see more side-by-side activities. Just behooves them to run single file there. And looking at our times again, it looks like our front is back down into the low 124s and even breaking into the 123s. Just kind of picking up some speed as they're not battling each other as they broke away from the rest of the field. Coming down here, we got Akhtar, followed by, I believe that is the front pack. So should have no problem getting by clean here in a lap or 2. A lot going on. Looks like Davis pushing Lawrence down there. Everything looks good. Pops out 3 wide. Thinking about going inside of Lawrence. Davis is, and opts to stay behind him. Front of the pack now is going to be coming into 2. Still single file with Ferguson and Angler kind of starting to break away at the moment, and a group of 4 cars behind them. Going to navigate that lap car of Akhtar here going into 3. Clean pass as the 18 stays out of the way without impeding upon that race, it looks like. And the rest of those 4 behind the breakaway 2 are working their way through 4 and 5 as we speak. Looks like we may have had something happen there to the 47 of Cashmere as he is no longer at the front of that little pack he was a part of. But as long as he is rolling, that is the important part. Hanging out here all by themselves coming down the straightaway is going to be the 56 of Maloney. Going for a Sunday drive quite literally this morning, enjoying himself out there. But let's see who we pick up coming here. I believe this is going to be our lead pack, which means unless something changed up, it is still Ferguson out front, Angler second, spreading out, Davis third, Isley fourth. Oh, I lied. I had that backwards. Lawrence was third, Isley is fourth, and Davis is now fifth, with Frizzetti running in the sixth spot. And waiting on the rest of our field to make their way through 7, 8, and out of 9. That should still be the 34 Bruns here coming by, running in the 7 spot. Going to fan out possibly 2, maybe even 3 wide. Tapleside thought better of it. No, he did not. Goes 3 wide with Guyette, Eaton, and Tapleside going into turn 1. That is going to be for our 8th, 9th, 10th position. Still 3 wide in the 1. See how this pans out. Tapleside all the way on the inside, and it looks like Eaton gets a nose out ahead and is going to lead them into 2. And it does work that way. No, it looks possibly like, let's see, maybe Eaton had gotten, yes, Eaton has gotten by Tapleside, followed by Guyette for 8th, 9th, 10th there. And the front of the field looks like they are making their way through 7 right now, out of 8, and they're actually out on 9. Ferguson, I believe, still leading unless something happened. We're kind of getting fanned out here at the front of the pack as we're counting down the minutes. Engler second, Lawrence third, Isley fourth, Davis fifth, and Frizzetti sixth at the front pack of the field. Frizzetti kind of losing pace a little bit there with them, but Frizzetti down to a 124 flat for his best time. I think that's a new best for him this weekend. See a cloud of dust over there off in 6. Can't tell if they were able to keep going or if we have somebody sitting there at the moment. But I think they were able to keep moving. Side by side here, we got these 2 cars. That is going to be Tapleside and Eaton, so I think that must have been Guyette that had some issues over there in 6. Side by side, the other Frizzetti and Ferreira, and here's Guyette and Lawrence. So yeah, Guyette definitely fell back a little bit to be running side by side with Lawrence at the moment, as he was right up there with Tapleside and Eaton for a second. And here comes the 47 of Cashmere as well, running in the 14 spot. Quick rundown of the field as they came by last time. Ferguson out front by about a 1.5 seconds, followed by Engler, Lawrence, Isley, Davis make up your top 5, running under 5 seconds in that little group altogether. Frizzetti, Chris, number 12 in 6. The 34 of Bruns, followed by the 19 of Tapleside, the 191 of Eaton, the 15 of Ferreira, the 122 of Bob Frizzetti, the 27 of Keith Lawrence, 92 of Guyette, 47 of Cashmere, 56 of Maloney, and the 18 of Akhtar, rounding out the cars we still have making laps out there. So we're going to pick up these cars coming right now onto the front straight. We'll see who we have here. Looks like Akhtar being overtaken by Bruns as they go across the line there. And we have another couple cars here going side by side. That should be Tapleside and Ian. It is the 19 and the 191 side by side. Had a spin in turn 2. 2 laps to go is actually what I'm hearing from race control. So we should see the conclusion of this coming by in just a second, as the front pack leads themselves into 7 currently. And we'll see them pop out. And unless things have changed, it's still going to be Ferguson leading the pack out here through 8. See him coming into 9 now. And I believe that's still the black car, Ferguson, number 52, leading the pack here onto the front stretch. And the starter has the white flag in hand, and it is Ferguson, followed by Lawrence, who made the pass on Engler somewhere. 4th place, 5th place will be Davis and Isley. Following them, it looks like Frizzetti had some issues, fell back a little bit, so getting by Maloney there. Not sure what happened to the 12 of Frizzetti, but he has fallen off that front pack. Coming through 2, looks like it is still being led by Ferguson. Side by side, Engler and Lawrence are going to be battling it out into 3. Lawrence is on that gearbox of Engler, seeing if we can make something happen on that last lap. Isley has fallen a few car lengths further behind Davis. Might not have much of a shot to get up into 4th place. Side by side again, Eaton and the 19 of Tapleside as they come by. Wow, they were on top of each other there. 69 thousandth of a second. Side by side, Guyette on Bob Frizzetti, followed by Lawrence there. And we got this solo car, the 47 of Kim Kashmir, doing his thing back there in the 14th spot still. So let's see if I can pick up the field. They must be, yes, they're working their way out of it here. Should be Ferguson still up front. They are already side by side, weaving back and forth. That should be for second place. Ferguson leading them. Looks like Lawrence is going to hold out third place, and side by side of Isley and Davis. Isley just gets 1 car length over Davis for fourth, and the 12 of Frizzetti rounding out 6th there, and we will give them as they run down through the field here. This is going to be the 56 Maloney. He is 1 lap down at this point in the 15 spot. And it looks like I've got the 34 of Bruns in the Adams Arrow coming our way right now. Kind of just hung out in 7th all race, ran his own little thing back there. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's a good way to bring the car home as you brought it to the track. Got Akhtar of number 18 here running at the back of the field there, and it looks like Eaton is going to squeak it out by a car length over Tappleside. And our next group of cars here, Guyette is leading Ferreira, the other Frizzetti, and Lawrence side by side by half a car, Ferreira over Frizzetti. And this is going to be Kashmir leading out spot 14, should be our last lead lap car. So that is going to bring us to the conclusion here of our race. So thank you so much for sticking with us here and joining us this Sunday, the Super Bowl Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and we are going to get down to the podium and partake in the celebrations with the drivers, capture some pictures, all that good stuff. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to the opening round of the 2025 Driverz Cup season. That's all I've got for now. Thank you so much for tuning in.